hauling some hay this morning. I've got more hay up at Snowshoe, the ranch, than I can use there during the winter, so I'll truck a bunch of it out to where we calve cows, because I'm kind of short on hay there. Awful nice morning, kind of frosty, but good to get this job done. I've been so busy bear fencing that got behind on these 5 or 6 semi-loads of hay to get out of here. All strapped down, should be ready to make the 15 miles home. Fall gathers started. We're out here in what we call the steer pasture of Benson's, gathering this first bunch of pairs. I'm gonna bring them in closer because we got to vaccinate and sex these calves here in the next week, getting ready for shipping. Nice morning here. Should get a good gather on them. This pasture's big, but it's pretty much all out in the open, and the cows usually want to go home. So have a good morning. Got Tom and Cooper and Mandy helping this morning. Cows know it's time to go home, make a little bit of noise, and they'll usually start heading out. It's a 1.5 miles, just over that ridge is the gate out of the pasture, and then another mile across the neighbors to what we call Thomas Place, where they'll stay for a week or two, where we've got some stockpiled grass close to the corrals so we can vaccinate. All gathered and headed out the gate across the neighbors. We didn't graze this pasture that we're going to this spring and then sprayed. It was full of flowers and weeds and stuff, and sprayed it last year and then rested it this spring. So we've got a pretty good bunch of grass to go to. You can see the difference between the neighbors and where we're going. So I should put some pounds on these calves.
Dad got it in.
Fall, so that means it's time to get cows out of the mountains. Get them down by the ranch for vaccines and shipping. Gorgeous spot up here they've had this summer to run. Pretty gorgeous fall day. Nice to be out. really built up that side of the road today. It's crazy how much fill it takes. They're getting rid of the old junky culvert. Must be hauling it somewhere.
Eat all my fingers, Daddy.
There were two big culverts under the highway, and I got the one still intact to make a calving barn out of, and the second one was damaged too bad, so they just tore it out in pieces. So now they're hauling it from the barn up on the hill where they can squash it and put it in side dumps to haul it to the scrapyard.
They're still working on the road, building it back up one day at a time. Asphalt comes next week, so they've got a deadline. They've been putting in some long days, starting at 6 and going till about 8 at night. And they've been doing our dirt work, which is exciting. Leveling out some of the nice valleys in our meadow and flattening the calving lot.
Gathering the cows that we took off the reserve a couple days ago, bringing them into the corral, and we got to sort mine from Dad's and vaccinate the calves, and then we'll also preg check my cows while they're in. We'll have a full day of working cows. When we vaccinate, I weigh some of the calves ahead of time just to get an idea a couple weeks out from shipping what they're gonna weigh, if I'm on track for what I contracted them at. I just kind of like to know, and the scale is here, so if you weigh. Hi calves. Hi. Hey.
Getting all my preg tech stuff ready. Got my sleeves and gloves. Gotta have my Udder Techs. Thank you, Udder Tech. And my goggles. And the actual ultrasound unit. So, I'll show you more in a second. So, my ultrasound goggles, I can see the fetus in there. That's what I'm looking at. And then I'm looking at the size to tell you how far along she's bred. And then we can calculate when she's going to calve. So, just helps us with our calving. Knowing when they're going to get heavier, kind of check out your groups, see how your breed up was, right? Did they all get bred 80% in that first cycle, like is the goal? Or did they, get more bred in the second, third cycle, which is not the goal? What happened, right? Did we have a bull problem? Was it a weather issue? So just things that can help us figure out how best to manage our herds and prevent problems for the next year. Hooks to my belt. So this is the actual power unit. And then I use the arm lately because it's a heck of a lot easier on my arm. A lot less crack the whip with Betsy because this gets put in the cow instead of me. So looks like we are ready to go. We like to bleach the cows so Reece knows which ones are open and late so he can sort them later. And here we go.
I knew we'd get into that. I knew that.